collaborated so often with Rajkumar Hirani, and there's a particular kind of writing that he does. And, people like Dibakar, whom you've worked with. What are the things that you've learned from these fabulous directors?
Wow. Well, almost everything. It's like an extension of what I did as a kid.
Yeah.
It's like watching all your favorite movies ever since. I always say this. I've watched movies ever since I was in my mama's womb. So it's like an extension of that. So you work to a point where you say, now you're working with these guys and you're actually making movies that hopefully will make a mark. And I am so proud to say that these movies are spoken about even today, and you're part of it. But working with them is an extension of what I've been learning all my life.
Right.
Dibakar used a very lovely word that I want one more take. I want one more take. I said, okay, sure. What is it that you want in that take? He's like, I'm not so sure. And that's, that's such a nice thing to say. So I said, okay, you're not so sure. I said, then you want another take? Sure. Can you tell me what were you looking for? Saying, I found something very delicious. He used that word. I found something very delicious. And when you taste something delicious, you want to taste some more. So maybe, it's such a nice way of directing rather than pasand nahi aaya. So it's so lovely with working with these guys. Raju and I have collaborated actually even 6 months before the film we start shooting. So he calls me over, we talk about it, we read the scenes, we said, it's so wonderful the way we work, and it's all about trust, and it's all about being interested in cinema, not in yourself. Yes. The moment you say that, what's it going to do for me? You've got a problem. What's it going to do for the film? You don't have a problem. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's the beauty of filmmaking. It's so collaborative, and I think that's what all of us are missing right now. Just the theatre-going experience, the feel of being part of a collective where you're sitting there in the dark, just watching the magic. It's not the same on streaming, isn't it?
I hate to say it, but no.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but no. I'm missing it out big time.
Yeah. So how do you see that progressing? Do you see shooting resuming soon? Do you see theatres opening? Of course, there are far bigger problems right now, but still.
I think, was it on your little poster? There's something that says the new normal.
Yes.
Okay, I don't like that word for some reason.
Very good. Please tell me why.
I want you to remove that line, because why should we accept this as the new normal, Kaveree? Why should we?
Good.
Because I'll tell you something. People have been through world wars, the plague, the Spanish flu, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the big Union Carbide. We have been asked to just stay at home, just to make sure that there isn't a proliferation and spread of the flu. And I think we did great. I think India's done a great job. Look how the USA is struggling. They have no clue, because there's a complete two split country system for some reason. But this can't go on forever. Our Lord will not allow it to go on forever for those who believe, and for those who don't believe, the science will not allow it to go on forever for those who don't believe in the Lord. And I'll say this for sure. This is now not how it's supposed to be for the rest of our lives.
Right.
Please. I'm ever the optimist, Kaveree. But I think if we can understand the gravity of what's happening, around the globe, and be a little more disciplined, and I think that's what this call is all about. A little more disciplined and a little more responsible. I think we'll be fine. We will.
You've always wanted to excel or do the best you can in whatever you do, right? When you were a waiter, when you were a photographer, when you're an actor, now when you want to be a director, I believe, you always want to do something that is the best possible, right? So you set very high standards for yourself.
I don't know. I'd like to set the standard where I turn and say, is this the best I can do?
Right.
Is this the best I can do? If I was a waiter, I set out to go to the Taj Mahal Hotel as a waiter. And so when the Parsi manager, the eccentric Parsi manager said, which department would you like to join? And I said, Rendezvous.
Right.
Oh, it's very good, very impressive. You want to join the best restaurant, the most expensive restaurant in the city, or maybe in India, the most exclusive restaurant,
Right.
and it's on the rooftop.
Hmm.
So I said, yeah. He said,
Yeah.
great, aspirational young man. I said, thank you,
Right.
sir. He's saying, but idiot,
Why?
go to the basement. Don't start at the rooftop.
That's it.
Start with the foundation.
Right.
Learn how to be a room service waiter. Not that it's the lowest of the job. No, I think there's great craft in that also. But you got to pay your dues, So I believe that even while, so I worked myself to the rendezvous. I wanted to reach the rendezvous. How can I not go there? Because that's the intention. If as a kid I wanted to be a writer director, that's what I'm going to be. But nobody give me a timeline that you cannot do that when you become a grandfather. That's what I have to say. Nobody give me a timeline. I'll do it in my own time, and I'll do it as when I'm good and ready, and I've been working hard for it. Really hard for it, Kaveree.
Right. It's so wonderful to see that work ethic. I wish everybody had that. Tell me a little about becoming a writer director. How much can you tell us about what you want to do, the kind of movie you want to make?
It hits you. I wanted to do this all my life, and I know the story will come my way. One day, I was 7, 8 years ago. Sujoy Ghosh comes to my house to pitch 5 or 6 films, and this little log line. He said it in 2 lines. This is a story about this, and I said, I like that, but I want to direct it.
Right.
You think it's yours?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's very generous of him.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And when I wrote my first draft, the first person I had to go and pay my respects to was Sujoy Ghosh. I went and narrated it to him. And of course, I'm on my 10th draft since. But the first draft that I wrote, I went and narrated Sujoy Ghosh because even though he just gave it and he's forgotten about it. But my duty to him is that I hope I am not corrupting what you had in mind. That's part of the ethic, Kaveree. It's part of the ethic. And then, so there was this log line. He gave me, in a nutshell. I said, sounds great. I started developing it. I wrote one scene, then I wrote another scene, then I wrote another scene. And then I wrote till the interval. And then that's when I met Alex. And he says, you know what? I came to meet you as a favor to a friend. And I was just saying, I'll just meet him, have a cup of coffee and go. But I'm in trouble now, he said. I'm in trouble now. I said, why is that? He said, because I love your story. And I'm married. I feel bound to, be there behind you for it. And sometimes you earn those stripes. And those are very important stripes to earn. And they come only from hard work. People say, your first film, Munna Bhai MBBS was a huge success, and you're an overnight success. I said, sure, it took about 40 years to become an overnight success.
Right.
I think it's very important to understand that there is nothing overnight about success. It takes years. It takes years. Mine has taken a little longer. I don't advise it to youngsters, but I am not grumbling at all.
Please like our social media handles and subscribe to our channel by clicking on the bell icon.